Okay, let's start to create some larger patterns, and then we'll begin to elaborate them so we can see design systems in action. So today we've got an input field done, we've got our button done. We can create a very basic login form. Now we'll elaborate it later, but let's just make a very simple one for now, because we're just going to go through the processes of discovering how we need to always improve our design system according to patterns and components. Now let's grab from our asset file our input field for one. Right, drag that onto the artboard, which I've already created here. Just call it a form login artboard. We're going to make a component, a Figma component for this. So I'm going to need one for username, right? And we're going to need one for password. We'll elaborate these later on. And we're going to need a button. So let's just do it this way. Go and grab our button. This one says login. And like I say, later on we're going to elaborate. But now we've got an interesting design system pattern to cover here, and that is responsiveness. So we have the basics here. Right now what we're going to use now is auto layout to group this. Okay, so now this is grouped into an auto layouted. It's almost a component, but as you can see, the gap here is not using the design system token, so we better use that. Maybe we'll make it tighter. You can make it as tight or as loose as your look and feel sees fit. So now it's a group, but it's not yet a component. Let's make it a component. Now it's a component, and let's call it login. As you see, inside login we have three components, our input components, which are built on the pips, which is what we discussed in previous videos. Right now we have a very, very simple login form. Now obviously it should be more elaborate than this, and we'll add those later, but let's focus on the fact that first of all I've misspelled password. Let's fix that. Maybe we look here and we say, okay, let's extend this. Okay, that works. Let's put it in the middle. That's what these lines are, just for the sake of it. Our login is on the left. Maybe we would like the login to be fill the width. And we say, okay, so this is where we're getting into auto layout and responsive nature of the layouting. So let's say we want to make this fill the container, and we just press that button. Okay, now it's filling, but you know, the login is on the left here, whereas we want it in the middle. So we need to fix that. When we created that button, we didn't create all of the features necessary, because we're not doing a deep dive here. We're going through end to end, and then we're going to go back and fix the things. So let's go to our main component. This is the button main component. And now we've got to make sure that by using this layout area, we need to make sure this is always centered. And for good measure, we're also going to make sure that in this instance of the button styling, the text is also aligned center. So now if we return to that instance, you'll see it's now aligned center. So now we have a very basic form, and here we've also seen how auto layout and responsive nature works. And next I think we should elaborate it slightly, maybe by adding some icons. So let's go and work on our icons a little bit.